need to remember that there's magic all around us.
When Eugene Burger passed away in August of 2017, his executors decided to found the Eugene Burger Legacy Fund at the Magic and Mystery School in Las Vegas. Among other things, our primary charge was to create a framework for delivering Eugene Burger Legacy Awards. Awards that would be given in Eugene's name to people who carried forth Eugene's character and spirit and values as a person, but also as a magician. We're so delighted to recognize you and honor you for carrying forward Eugene's spirit and values. So earlier, Heather, I asked everyone to reflect on an elder who inspired their path with magic. So if you're comfortable sharing, who is the person who turned the magic light bulb on for you?
I have to say, very early on, 1998, when I sort of began, I met Jeff McBride's videos and studied them. And I was just taken. Just now, he was helping me with shadow coins and, my card manipulation act that I do, very heartfelt versions. All that came from my study.
That's great. So maybe your background in circus helped that feel a little more approachable. Tell us a little bit about that history. What area of circus work were you especially drawn to?
Well, it's interesting. I came in as their first ever technical apprentice. They hadn't had one before. And when they found that I sewed, they were like, oh, yeah. So they put me on. I was sewing sidewall. It was a one ring, no animal circus with no tent. It was sidewall that time. And so I was upholstering acrobatic equipment. And my kind of shining victory was they designed a 2-level set that was all jagged and stairs. And you had to be able to melt through the walls. And from the blueprints, I sort of created patterns and sewed an entire set. There were people melted through with elastic. And so they got me something, but I made my own trapeze by splicing rope and I made my own tight wire, and that I walked the tight wire for many years. The tight wire was closest to my heart.
Wow. Okay. I've seen your some of your acts, and I've seen your beautiful movement performance with the crystal ball, which we see in your video. How did you get started with that incredible piece?
Contact juggling always inspired me. I had no interest in numbers. I just wanted the one ball. And I worked with a smaller one. Sarah Felder was a juggler in the circus before my time even. And she did contact juggling. And I got the larger ball and it sat on my kitchen table for 2 years before I touched it because I was so afraid. And still, it's great. I practice with headphones. When it goes around the back of it slams into my head. And so it's quite dangerous to do. But in performance, I get that head down and I visualize. So I don't know. That to me, that's my signature thing because I tune into it. And it's about attention. It's about soul retrieval and attention to me.
Yeah, it's an incredible piece. So I see that you have been involved with creating carefully tailored corporate events for many years now. What would you say to everyone who's watching tonight is an important thing to know about working with clients like these and delivering events like these?
I have several ideas on this. In fact, my business partner, Velia, and I are stepping out and creating the framework of ideators and thought leaders. We're going to speak at the World Education Conference, where we're going to speak on the top 10 tips to create proposals that pop. You want to station yourself as a thought leader, understands. The second thing I want to say is that you're really close with the clients while you're customizing, and they respond to you nice and quick. But after the gig, they don't. They've moved on. So make all your asks for the video or for the testimonial, make them before you finish the event because you have them. You have all their attention.
And that's really good advice because I can speak from experience that you're so right about that. So in the video you allowed us to see, you and Velia, your partner, you not only, there we see the fun and the humor and the, delightfulness of the presentation you make. So, but you also have to balance that in with idea content. How do you and Velia kind of arrive at the right balance between glam, magic jazz, visuality, and thoughts?
We work so hard as writers, and a lot of business partners, one does the sales, one does the admin. We are in together. We just write hour after hour. We write proposals, we write emails, we write programs, and we go very, very deep. We budget a couple weeks sometimes to write a program and rehearse and choreograph. And so it's content, and content, we take a lot of time because we're clear about our why, and our why is to help people feel appreciated and seen. And that's such a passion for us that we go as deep as we can to make them feel seen and appreciated.
That's great. Now, another question about this. You were obviously a solo performer for many years, and then you took on a partner, Velia. What was it like to make that transition? And I assume you still perform solo sometimes. What was it like to become part of a duo?
It's funny because we knew each other for 10 years, and her husband kept saying, you should work together. You should. And we were like, how? Because she had her own company, Her Rebel Highness, where they dressed in the powder white wigs, and she's a songwriter. And so she and composer, arranger. So she had these, women's empowerment songs as princesses. And so we couldn't see how, but yeah, we created an event for the makers of Tomb Raider, a 1920s experience with like a cast of 12. And that was our first program. And then we did another one for Slack. It was just her and I doing 5 hours of game show weeks that we had 2 weeks to prepare. And we did a whole back sign lit up, and it was 3 a.m. and we got everything in our car. And we looked at each other, and I said, no one will know what we just went through. And we looked at each other and we understood we were made of the same kind of grit. And when you find someone who will go as deep as you and stay in as long as you, it's magic.
That's really incredible. Now, people can learn about what you and Velia do by going to Curated Entertainment, right? That's the name of your...
Yeah.
Good. And they can search for that online and find information?
Sure, yeah.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about your connection with Eugene. We saw that beautiful photo of you and Eugene. So in what way or ways did Eugene or his magic have an impact on you?
Well, everyone who ever knew Eugene fell in love with Eugene. He was lovely, but I'll tell a story. I had come all the way to the mystery school many times because I love studying here. And I brought 4 instant costume change jacks, and it took 2 carts to pull everything. At one point, I'm in the Transamerica Pyramid while I'm getting into the wedding dress. And I got here and everyone had videos. I'm like, I just had to bring a video. But anyway, so after I did my bit, Eugene came up and he said, first of all, you have a wonderful smile. Use it. And the act was a psycho girlfriend getting ready for a date. And it's just this crazed, woman going after this man. She said, and so Eugene said, this act cannot be Heather. This person is too crazy to be you. It will scare your audience. This has to be your cousin Natalie and how she met Irving. And so that's what I did. And I learned at the mystery school about how we need to preamble. We need to create context for our artistic pieces. And that was one of those. And the last thing I'll say on that is that, the celebration of life at Magic Meaning, we all were given a gypsy thread, and I tied mine around my wrist, and I had it there for a long time. And then it broke, and I tied it to the cell phone holder in my car, and I look at it every day.
Wow, Heather, that's just great. I love that you still have your thread for Magic and Meaning where we mourned Eugene's passing, and that it's on your cell phone. That would make him so happy. So tell us, as a final question, what does receiving this award mean to you?
Well, it means a great deal. There's nothing like being seen for what you care about and what you dedicated your life to. I saw Adam Shire last night at Magic Live, and he said, I can't imagine getting a more meaningful award. And I said, yes. I said, so it's people who get it. And so it's sort of indescribable to say, but there's so much gratitude about finding my tribe and finding people who love magic as much as me. I think it's going to continue to grow in meaning throughout the years, but it means a great deal to me.
Heather, I know Eugene would be so delighted that you received this award in his name. Thank you for being with us tonight. And thanks for, being one of this year's recipients. We're so delighted for you. Everyone put your hands up for Heather Rogers.